video for me is very heartbreaking.
Right now, I find myself in hospital.
So for those that do not know what church that is,
If you've been following my content, I've been exposing the mega church cult that I was in before First Love under Dagged Mills Mustard Seed Chapel International.
yes, that's Pastor Doug Mills' church. She goes down to break down her experience at this church. We'll be back in a second because I think there's a lot for us to talk about concerning this subject.
My name's Leah Lauder and I'm a mega church cult survivor. If you've been following my content, I've been exposing the mega church cult that I was in before First Love under Dagged Mills Mustard Seed Chapel International. Right now, I find myself in hospital. Sorry. You know, I don't really post much on YouTube because I always feel like I need to come on and look my best. And right now, I'm actually having an adrenal crisis. I have Addison's, that's what I was diagnosed with whilst I was in the cult and post-cult exit as well. Right now, I'm in the hospital fighting for my life. I developed hyperadrenalism, Addison's, kidney disease, and I have a possible diagnosis of autoimmune disease. And this is a result of the trauma that I experienced whilst being in the cult, the church cult. They just push your body and your mind to the absolute maximum, to the point where being there for 18 years and suffering a high level exposure to narcissistic abuse has taken its toll on my body and my organs. That's how bad the abuse is there. That's how bad it is. My body just started to shut down because it couldn't take the pressure of the environment. You know, these church cults are extremely high demand and high pressurizing. They require so much of your time. Like, to try and put into words the level of demand that was required there was just absolutely crazy. I need people to understand that I was working a full-time job. I was traveling 2 hours to get to that job. And then from there, I was going to church afterwards, trying to look after my family. I've got 2 kids, trying to be a wife, look after my husband, trying to take care of the home. Like, something's got to give. Like, something's got to give. It's already enough when you've got kids and you're working, and then on top of it to put this ministry there, and it's work. It's like another job.
Strict Reality Show with the Daily Christian Commentary videos. If it's your first time over here, show, check out some of the videos that are down in the pinned comments. This particular video, I will leave it down in the description below if you want to watch the rest of it. I don't want to play the whole video because I think you should see it from her herself. So I'll leave the video in the description. But I want us to talk about the subject mainly for a particular reason. There's a lot of people that they might be going through this, they don't even know it. And there are pastors who might be doing this, they don't even know what damage it does. They call it passion, whatever, and all that entire jazz. There's a reason why in the book of Acts, you see the apostles starting to focus solely on ministry. And then they commissioned all the deacons and so forth. And even when you talk about the fivefold ministries and what, that's why it lists help us. It's because some of these churches, they don't understand help us. And the extra stuff is what then becomes so demanding that it almost dismisses an individual's life. I'll play you the video. I'll be back in a second. So why do I think this is such an important subject. I went through this almost 3 to 4 times in different churches. So first of all, I'm a video editor, right? So I'm a video editor. So you go somewhere, there is a place for you to be put. Okay, they want you to do this one. They want you to shoot the video. They want you to shoot Sunday videos, 2 services. They want you to shoot Tuesday classes, Wednesday prayer service, message, and then Friday classes, and then you come and do Sunday 2 services. And you don't only just shoot these things, you still must edit all of these things. And not only edit, you must have them all done. And some of them, they even have multiple cameras. And you must capture everything. You capture everything. I remember in one church, I was the camera guy and I was expected to edit, do the audio, do the sound, and all that entire stuff, and do the if you do the videos and you don't put the scriptures when the pastor is reading, that's additional thingy. And so you had to watch this message like 2-3 times. That's about what? 3-4 hours. Now imagine by that time I was still in school. So what time would I get to do that? I remember when it happened in the first church, I remember just handing over everything. I was like, you know what? This is impossible. It's not possible that I can be able to juggle that and do this. And it kind of began my process for exiting, because they started teaching things and all that kind of stuff. So I left. Then I went to another church, and in this particular church, it was pretty much the same thing. They did a fewer services. They had a very long Sunday service. They had a prayer message that they wanted to record it on Sunday evening. They had a meeting on, I think it was a Wednesday. Also another long message. They did expect you to attend prayer meetings and all this kind of stuff and all that stuff. And then they had, I think, a Friday service and stuff like that. And then there might be here and there things to capture, but those were the main ones. But the issue with this one was these things were very long. Even though there wasn't that many services, but they were long. Pastor would preach like 2 hours. And people don't understand how long it takes to edit a 15-minute video. Talk about 2 hours, 3 hours. It's very exhausting. It's incredibly exhausting. And so when I was hearing this lady's story, it reminded me of that. You know, the other church that I went to, I'm telling you, it's not a joke. The pastor knew I did YouTube, and so he was like, no, leave that, right? And just edit and do this, and God will open doors. So God opens doors means there is no pay from it, okay? No problem. If you're not doing it, if you're not going to be paid, it's fine. That's not a hassle. But it helps if you're not going to be paid when you have something. Now, when you don't have something and you're still doing a job that doesn't pay, when do you get a job that does pay? You know? And so this leads to delays and all those kind of things. And so they expected me to be doing these edits for this church and whatnot and stuff. And I was like, that's not where I'm supposed to be. I'm here to help you understand how to handle all these things. Not here to do this for thinking. And so that's why you get to churches, and then you find this one brother who's there at the corner. He's supposedly serving, but this person seems to not have any formal structure to their life. So they will put your visions and your plans for your life at the back of the thing. That's why I said when TB Joshua was here, that was the worst thing that could have happened to all those people that call themselves the disciples. Because why is it that they all rush to get married? People there would tell you, no, they were busy. Not busy. You were being overly occupied. People, to this lady, she started getting sick. Because yes, when do you get time for anything? There's work, there's kids, there's family, there's all these things. And so We have to be very careful. Now, that says we're saying that mainly to church members and pastors. Pastors, careful not to overwork people who already have a lot of work to do. Be careful not to overwork people who are jobless before they find a job. When they don't do nothing for a very long, they'll start blaming you. They'll start blaming you. So as a leader, you have to be very careful with people who are working under you, who don't seem like they're doing anything. Because what do you expect out of them? Then you want to talk about the Lord will bless you. This brother is not doing anything. He's here, you are overworking him about going up and down, be calling him, I think we left the lights on. I think I left the door without being closed. So wait, doesn't this person have a job? What kind of people are serving in your church? And then also, for the individuals that are serving there, yes, we should serve, definitely. But are you serving? Well, we don't want all these bitter stories. Okay, we do not want bitter stories because it gets crazy out here. Okay, now the people that are out here showing you, seeing all these videos, these stories are a reminder to be careful of things like that. For me, I would see it within a very short time. 6 months, I'm like, I think something is offish here. Maybe a year, I'm like, yeah. 6 months here, nah. Because there isn't a balance of, I, Ricky, want to do certain things. I want to achieve certain things. No, I'm not going to do that while being here, rendering free labor. Now, you see, this is where a lot of people who talk about, you are saving, but you are there busy talking about the blessing of the. So doesn't that blessing not add sorrow for me? It doesn't add sorrow for you, but because you don't get to pay any salaries for any of the jobs. But do you ever sit to think about that person you are calling? Like when you are calling a choir member during the week to come on Thursday, what are you thinking? That pastor wants you to be jobless. That pastor is a problem. You are calling a prayer warrior for the church during the time when you know very well this is family time. You want them to do it. So we shouldn't be ignorant that people have, you see, we come to church to be equipped so that we can be effective outside. That's why you'll be telling people, bring a neighbor. What neighbor? They don't even know their neighbor. They spend all their time in church. So it's important people structure. You structure. Don't ask me. Me, I'm not a pastor. You are the pastor. Structure your church programs in a manner that acknowledges that people have lives. It's Ricky. I'm done.